Hey guys, good evening and thanks for joining. So in the last class we discussed about three architecture diagrams. One is Hexabeam, second one is HP ArcSight and Microfocus, third one is IBM QRadar. So IBM QRadar we can continue. So I want to give couple of deployment methods and also what is the different types of definitions also, in-depth analysis of IBM QRadar. Okay, so IBM QRadar architecture or components mainly it contains, so there are three different types of architecture or components mainly. One is event collector or flow collector. Second one is event processor and flow processor. Third one is QRadar console. Okay, so that is about IBM QRadar architecture. Now, next one is the deployments. IBM QRadar is supporting two different types of deployments. One is on-premise deployments. Second one is cloud-based deployments. This is not only just IBM QRadar, even other vendors also. So all other vendors, they are supporting two different types of deployments. One is on-premise and second one is cloud-based. Once again, these on-premise and cloud-based deployments can be subdivided into three different types of sub-deployments. So on-premise or cloud deployments can be implemented as, so these on-premise and also cloud can be deployed as, there are three different types of deployments. One is standalone deployment. So similarly, we have discussed for every vendor. Second one is distributed deployment. Third one is all-in-one box. So all-in-one box meaning here event collector and flow collector, event processor and flow processor, and also QRadar hardware device. Everything it contains a single device that is called all-in-one box. Okay, so on-premise it is generic QRadar. We can call it IBM QRadar. So in the cloud-based we can call it a QRock. So what is the in cloud deployment of IBM QRadar? We can call it as QRock. QRock meaning here QRadar on cloud. QRadar on cloud. QRock means QRadar on cloud. Example, maybe you selected for TCS and your client using QRock. That means they are not using on-premise deployment. They are using cloud-based IBM QRadar SIEM tool. Why am I saying this one? One of the student is asked me. So, brother, one of the my project is belongs to QRock, IBM QRadar tool. So what is my QRock? He was asking me. He doesn't aware of what is QRock, even though I taught in the class. So meaning here, so QRadar on cloud, this is a cloud-based SIEM tool. It's a part of IBM QRadar company or IBM company. Okay, that means what our client he is supporting, it's a part of cloud-based QRadar tool. Both are same as it is, but only cloud-based solution, it is a little bit cheaper as compared to on-premise. There is no need of hardware and so on. Okay. So now what we can do, now we can go and we can discuss about what is mean standalone deployment, what is my distributed deployment, what is my all-in-one box, finally high availability also. Okay. So we can discuss about high availability as well. Primary and backup. So this whatever I'm sharing right now in this screen, it belongs to one of the screenshot I took it from the QRadar user guide. Okay, so before class has been started, so you can see here, is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
sir. Not so clear, sir.
Then you can, are you using mobile or are you using laptop?
Mobile, sir, mobile.
Then you can make a horizontal auto rotate.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. So this one is standalone deployment, QRadar standalone deployment. It's for single location. You know already standalone deployment, single location we can use. So here, Okay, three components obviously. One is data collection. So data collection is nothing but event collector and flow collector. Event collector and flow collector. Okay. So all these are event data and flow data. That's what I said, right? Even yesterday evening class, also same thing I told you. So these are all event data. So event data can be collected from the different types of log sources or data sources. Example, firewall, proxy, IDS, IPS, all the applications, all the servers, and so on. Okay. Next one is even QRadar is collecting the flow data as well. Flow data is nothing but here router, switch, servers, and so on. Okay, so we are collecting two different types of data. One is related to logs or events. Second one is the flow data. So once we are collecting the logs or events and also flow data, it can complete the parsing, normalization, aggregation. Okay, aggregation they did not give, actual aggregation also will complete. So that is on the data collection side. From there, it will go those logs to the data processing module. That is nothing but event processor and flow processor. Event processor and flow processor. And event processor and flow processor, it contains the indexing part, querying part, filtering part, and also backend they have correlation rules engine is there. And also one of the event processor and flow processor also attached to node. Node is for the storage purpose. Okay. Finally, data searches. So here you can see here SOC team. So they are sitting here and they will monitor 24/7. Whenever any offenses is coming to the QRadar tool, they will take care of the instant investigation of forensic analysis. So this is standalone development, single location. Okay. So single location, what are the three main components we are using? One is QRadar device. Okay. Second one, event processor and flow processor, event collector and flow collector. So that is about standalone. Next one is distributed deployment. Okay. Where is the custom correlation rule engine will be there? Custom correlation rule engine or correlation rule engine. It's a part of which component?
Processor.
Yes, processor. You have to remember that one. Yeah, you have to remember that one. So second deployment is called, okay, so distributed deployment. So this one already attached in the our 15th batch material. After this class is completed, just you can go through this PDF as well. Okay. QRadar distributed deployment. Example, this QRadar console, this is headquarters. Okay, so take this headquarter as a example, Spain. Okay, why I'm saying Spain? Because so here Germany and also France or French they're given. So take this maybe example of Spain or maybe Sweden, anything is fine. Their headquarter is there in this either Sweden or Spain, and branch offices are there. Right hand side, you can see three branch offices are there, or remote offices are there. One is German, nothing but Germany. Second one, remote they given. Okay, so example, take this one is a Spain. Okay, what I will do, this one you can take as a Sweden, and remote data center you can take as a Spain. Okay, so take this one is Spain now, Spain data center. This is France data center. All these are part of Europe continent, European countries. So Sweden headquarters, they want to monitor even other countries related event logs as well as flow data. Okay. So in the okay, Sweden data center, there are three different types of components they deployed. One is event collector, flow collector, event processor and flow processor, and QRadar device. This QRadar device, and even their SOC team also sitting in the Sweden data center only. SOC team also sitting Sweden data center only. Okay. And also all these are called data sources or log sources or flow data. All these are data sources or log source or flow data, because we are collecting the two different types of data. One is events or logs, second one flow data. So that is about Sweden data center. Second one is German data center. In the German data center, we no need to deploy separate QRadar hardware device. Okay, whatever logs and flow data we are collecting based on the traffic, whatever it is generating, logs it is generating. Okay, according to that one, either we have to deploy event collector and flow collector, event processor and flow processor, based on the how we can categorize how many devices are required. In the German data center, take example. So why 4 are showing here, and why in the Spain data center only showing event collector only? Okay, and in the French data collector or France data center, event collector and flow collector. Okay, what is the difference between these three? So how we can design this one based on, okay, so how many number of end users are there, how many number of applications are there, and also based on how many number of log sources are there. Okay, how many number of events per second it is generating, flow per second it is generating. It matters. According to that one, they can deploy. So how many devices are required? I'm repeating once again. So what is the differences between these three data center related to remote branch offices? In the German data center, we can see event collector and flow collector, event processor and flow processor. But on the Spain data center, we can see only event collector. And France data center, we can see event collector and flow collector. Okay. So based on what parameters they deploy these devices? So based on the how many number of end users are there, how many number of applications are deployed, how many number of log sources are there or the data sources are there, how many number of servers we have, how many number of databases we have, and what is the incoming, okay, traffic or outgoing traffic, and what is the events per second and flow per second. So after calculating everything, then finally what they will do, even exporting the logs from the German data center to our Sweden data center. So that one they will consider one thing. So how they will do the licensing option? So they will do the licensing option. Give me 1 second. So licensing is depending on two parameters if it is distributed deployment. So I can write here itself. So distributed deployment licensing, all these design, whatever right now I'm discussing about completely design, don't confuse. Right now, whatever I'm discussing, it's a design related, not even implementation. Okay. So in the distributed deployment, so how many devices are required in each and every data based on what parameters they can so consider. So one is hardware device cost. Second one is log export cost. Log or even log or maybe flow export cost. When you say export sending, okay. So based on these parameters, they can define in the remote branch offices. So whether we have to deploy hardware devices or whether can we export the data, can we send the logs directly to the headquarters? Either log or flow export cost, otherwise sending cost. So that is one of the parameter they can consider. Second one, hardware device cost. What is mean by that one? I'm saying hardware device cost and log exporting or log sending to the main headquarters. Based on these two parameters, they can calculate the cost, which one it will cost it, cost or price. Okay, so now coming back to here. Now German data center, they deployed 4 hardware devices. They can calculate one more. One is hardware device cost, they will calculate. Maybe hardware device cost approximate 50K, consider 50K. In the German data center, hardware cost is 50K. 50K USD dollars. Give me 1 second. I'm getting one office call. Give me 1 second. Apologies. Apologies, case. Yeah. So here they will consider two costs for each and every data center. Example, German data center, as for this particular diagram. So four devices are required. One is event collector and flow collector, event processor and flow processor. Entire hardware device cost is approximate 50K USD dollar. Just I'm giving example only. That one they will consider. Second thing is, obviously, everywhere we cannot deploy QRadar hardware device to monitor everything. Nothing but main console. Wherever headquarters is there, from there only we'll monitor everything. From there only we can do the instant investigation, forensic investigation. So second cost is related to, in case from German data center, whatever events are generating, flows are generating, can we send it to the Sweden data center? How much it will cost? They will compare these two. I'm repeating once again. One is hardware cost they will consider in the German data center. Second one, they will cost, if you want to send the either events or logs or flow data from German data center, the Sweden data center of the headquarters, how much cost is required? If you want to send these logs or flow data, obviously through VPN, and also internet is a mandatory because two different continents, not two different countries, either man, not even man. So WAN completely, wide area network, through public network or through internet. That too we have to send it through only VPN connectivity. So if you want to send the packets in the form of kilobytes, as well as even event size also, we are considering 400 bytes or 500 bytes. If you are sending from this German data center to the Sweden data center, how much cost it will go? They will calculate those two parameters. Example, maybe this is costing now 60K without deploying the hardware device. If you are sending, so this much cost is there. Now, obviously, which one is less? Whether hardware device cost is less, or whether log flow or sending the logs to the main headquarters cost is less. Obviously, so yes, they will compare these two costs. Finally, whatever cheaper cost is there or cheaper price is there, that one only they will choose. That is the reason. So they are not exporting the logs now. So this is ruled out now. In German data center, this is ruled out now. After processing is completed, custom correlation rule are hitting here, only alert will be generated here, because custom correlation rule will be there of event processor. Okay, that's why they deployed event processor also. Whenever these end users of the German data center or attackers, they are trying to do malicious activity, it will collect the event collector, it will send to the event processor, correlation rule engine is there, only alert will go to the headquarters of the Sweden. Processing, everything will be done here, only alert will go here, that's all. So in such a way, they will do the comparison. Which one it will cost cheaper cost? That is also another factor if you want to design. Okay, that is about the first German data center. So that's why they ignored this particular thing. Okay, second one is Spain data center. In the Spain data center, you can see here only event collector is there. That means it is generating less number of the events or logs. So flow is very, very less. They are ignoring completely flow data. Maybe only 2 servers or 3 servers are there, that's all. 2 servers, 3 servers, maybe it will generate less cost. Less flow data. So that's why there are no, maybe non-critical servers are there or non-critical applications are there. That is not a mandatory to monitor. So that's why they are ignoring only event data, whatever it is there. That one, they are sending directly to the headquarters. There is no event processor here, only event collector is there. So now what they will do comparison now once again. So event collector, event processor cost now, hardware cost, maybe once again 50K, and exporting the logs and processing of the logs. Exporting the logs and processing of the log, it is only 40K. Okay, now which one is cheaper cost? Which one is cheaper cost now? Sending the logs to the main headquarters. Yeah. So that is the reason. Now that's why event processor is missing here. Only collection is doing. After collecting the logs, they are sending to this Sweden data center. Processing is not doing. So event processor cost they are comparing with, okay, sending the logs to the respective headquarters of this, okay, Sweden data center. That's why event processor is missing here. Flow anyway, they ignored completely.
Then without processor, how will we compare that in correlation engine rules?
Yeah, here, so in the event process, see, don't think, okay, this arrow mark is there on the headquarters. They will send it to this flow processor.
Okay.
Yeah, this event processor and flow processor, not here. Actually, this is the diagram wrong. So here datagram. I mean, event processor and flow processor.
Okay.
Yeah. So last one is, okay, so French data center, France data center. In this one, they are collecting once again event and flow data, but they don't have event processor and flow processor. Event and flow processor, they're not using. Maybe that cost is more as compared to sending the logs to the, okay, so Sweden data center of the event processor and flow processor. So according to this particular thing, normally after comparing, so exporting the logs from the remote branch office to the headquarters will cost less cost, or maybe so hardware devices will be expensive. They'll compare these two things. Finally, they will design the architecture diagram. Once they are designing the architecture diagram, finally they can deploy. This is the way how it will follow. One of the L3 person, he put experience 6+. So one of the interview question is asked about. So your headquarters is there in USA. Your, okay, so branch office is there in Australia and also New Zealand. I'm repeating once again. Your headquarters is there in the USA. Your branch offices are there in Australia and in New Zealand. Okay. So in the Australia data center, event collector and flow collector, event processor and flow processor, or 4 components are available. Okay. In the New Zealand data center, only event collector and flow collector is available. Okay, so this is the overall scenario. I am repeating once again. Your headquarters is there in the example, this is USA, and your branch offices are there in the Australia and New Zealand. In the Australia data center, event collector, flow collector, event processor and flow processor, nothing but all 4 components are there. In the New Zealand data center, only event collector and flow collector. So that is the scenario. Now questions from that particular requirement. In the Australia data center, so where is the processing of the correlation rules will happen and where the alerts will be generated? That is the first question. What is the answer?
Processing will take place in Australia and the alert will be generated in US.
Perfect. That is the answer. So second scenario, second New Zealand data center, event collector and flow collector is available in the New Zealand data center. So where is the processing of the custom correlation rule will happen, and also alerts we can see, whether in the New Zealand or Australia or USA. What is the answer?
US.
Both are at US.
Yes, both are at USA. So this is the way how they will ask. That means you should have the overall architecture and what is the importance of event collector and flow collector, and what is the importance of event processor and flow processor. Then only you can give the answer. This is called distributed deployment. Okay. So next one is called all-in-one deployment. In the all-in-one deployment, is actually this one can be used for 100 users or 200 users or 500 users or 1000 users. Okay. So for those type of organizations, we can use all-in-one box. So this all-in-one box itself contains the event collector hardware, flow collector hardware, event processor hardware, flow processor hardware, and even so QRadar console related component as well. In such a way, they will complete develop the hardware device. So now you can see all these logs directly they are sending to the QRadar. Even flow data also they are sending to the QRadar. After sending the logs using different types of log integration methods, so this QRadar can be collection will be completed, normalization, parsing, aggregation, okay, processing of the logs, indexing, filtering, querying, And finally, here itself, okay, so alerts will be generated. So this is called all-in-one box. All-in-one box deployment can be supported only for the small case industries or small related business organizations. Okay, that is about all-in-one box. This concept is not only applicable to IBM QRadar. So whatever I said, standalone, distributed, and also all-in-one box deployment, this applicable to even McAfee. McAfee also has all-in-one box deployment. Okay, second one is logarithm. Only these three vendors are supporting all-in-one box deployments. Who are all the vendors? One is McAfee, second one is logarithm, third one is IBM QRadar. Okay. So remaining all other vendors, they are supporting combination of both cloud deployments as well as on-premise deployments. So that is about overall deployment and design and implementation wise. First, they will do the design. Okay, how many hardware devices are required? Okay, so and so on. After designing, they will go and they will implement according to the high-level design document, whatever we created by security architect team. Low-level design document is created by security architect team. So these are the two different types of design documents normally will be architectured by the security architect team. Okay. So according to the overall cheap and best solution with quality of the product and quality of the SOC operations. That is about overall deployment wise. As I said, so on-premise and cloud is applicable to every SIEM tool, but all-in-one box deployment is applicable to only QRadar, logarithm, and also McAfee. Okay. So that's all about overall design as well as deployment related. Now what we can do, we can go and we can discuss about couple of theoretical based inter questions in the QRadar. Okay, or definitions otherwise. So first one is high availability. So high availability also, same as it is. So here you can see high availability. This is what I have drawn. Generic SM architecture. When we discussed not long back, 3 days back, I think. So if you want to maintain the high availability, so two different SIEM tools we have to use. One is primary, one is secondary. In the similar way, event processor, flow processor, event processor and flow processor. Event collector, flow collector, event collector, flow collector. So everywhere we have to provide the high availability. In case this QRadar is going down, this one will be taken care. This QRadar is going, this one will be taken care. This event processor is going down, this event processor will take care. Okay, this event processor is going down, this event processor will take care. This flow processor is going down, this flow processor, vice versa. In this similar way, collector also. This event collector is going down, so this event collector, and this event collector is going down, this event collector. In such a way, mesh topology. I am not sure whether you remember or not. So here it is showing like this availability side, but connections wise, we have to provide even mesh wise also. This event collector to this event processor. Okay. This event collector to this event processor. This flow collector to this flow processor. This flow collector to this flow processor. In such a way, we have to create a mesh topology. In simple way, we can represent only this one. Hope it's clear now. Okay. That is about overall high availability. This is the basic overall high availability, how organizations will maintain. In the firewall concept also, we discussed about high availability, only 2 firewalls. But here, okay, 3 components for each and every layer, data collection layer, data processing layer, and also monitoring layer. Okay, so in the data collection 2, and also data processor 2, and data monitoring is it 1, total 5 devices. Okay, so if high availability is required, total how many devices are required? Overall, so 10 devices are required. So even node also we have to consider. Node also we have to keep everywhere. Event processor node, flow processor node, event processor node, flow processor node. We have to put one connection to node as well for storage purpose. So this is about high availability part. This is not only applicable to IBM QRadar concept. This is applicable to every SIEM tool. This concept is applicable to every SIEM tool, not only QRadar. Not only QRadar. So for every SIEM tool, deployment of high availability is this one. Okay. Now coming back, coalescing. Couple of definitions we can discuss. First definition is coalescing. What is coalescing? First of all, it's a, most of the people, it is a new term to you. You will not listen this word also, coalescing meaning here. Coalescing meaning here, so removing the duplicates. Removing the duplicates or bundling together. Bundling together. So many events, if you want to bundle together, that is called as a coalescing, or removing the duplicates is called as a coalescing. Okay, so how we can define this one? Removing the duplicates or bundling multiple similar type of events is called as coalescing. What is mean by this one? Why we have to remove the duplicates? Example take. So event ID 4625. One of the brute force attack has come. So Windows authentication login failures. For example 10.10.10.1. Okay. So here what is the event ID 4625 belongs to Windows event authentication login failures. So continuously this guy 10.10.10.1, whoever IP address is there, that guy is continuously, he is trying to do the, okay, so authenticating the username and password. So per suppose this event IDs are generated multiple times. Nothing but maybe 20 times it is generated. Okay. So these many events are generated. So why these many events are required? Maybe 2 or 3 is more than sufficient, but continuously it is generating so many events. Duplicated events are generating. If you are generating duplicated events, obviously, so what will happen? Anyone? So many duplicates are coming. What is the, okay, so drawback of the duplicated event? Perfect. Yeah, storage. Drawbacks of the duplicated events. One is storage capacity should be high. Obviously, storage, if you are considering, it can lead to cost as well, GB per day, because so our licensing is completely, they will consider GB per day. So cost also. So third one is a little bit complicated. So many events are generating. Whoever is doing the instant analysis or instant investigation or forensic analysis, they are in confusion state whether it is a DOS attack or whether it is a normal attack. Okay. So that's why even for security people or security analyst has some confusion. Okay, so what we can write now? So confusion for instant investigation. So what are drawbacks are there in the duplicated events? Then what we have to do? So we have to enable one of the feature. That feature is called as coalescing, not collision. Collision is different. Coalescing we can call it as. It's one of the very, 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 very favorite interview question if you are going for IBM QRadar interview. If you are going for IBM QRadar, so it's one of the very, very famous interview question. What is mean by coalescing in IBM QRadar? Okay, so that is one of the definition. Next definition is offense.
Sir, you said indexing also in the same concept, right?
Indexing is based on the grouping of the events, not removing. So example, we have 10 firewalls are there. All those 10 firewalls we can group into firewall manager. Or example, 100 servers are there. We are not grouping the events now. We are grouping overall devices wise.
Okay, not on the event number in index.
No. Yeah. So appends, you know appends. What is appends in IBM QRadar? Anyone?
Events, incident.
Yes. Yeah, it is an event or incident or alarm. Okay. So how we can define this one? A message sent or an event generated in response to a monitored condition. So that is called offense. A message is sent, nothing but once that condition or logic it is meeting, then obviously one of the alert notification it will come. That alert notification is generated, whatever logic it is repeating, that is called offense. That the indirectly notification of an incident or an event. Okay, offense is also called as incident or alert or alarm or alarm. Okay, in IBM QRadar terminology, this is offense. Okay, if you are going for the IBM QRadar interview, you should only refer as offense. You should not say incident. Okay, so according to terminology wise also, they can conclude that whether you are a real candidate or genuine candidate or not. So that is about offense. So next one, magnitude. So magnitude is nothing but it's a risk score. In IBM terminology, so magnitude is nothing but risk score. What is the risk score for exabeam? What is the risk score for exabeam? And which type of risk score we have to work on?
Greater
Anyone?
than 90.
Yes, greater than 90 we have to work on. That's perfect. Okay, so whether less than 90 it will work, come or not?
Yeah, it'll come, but it'll go until large number. We
Yes,
have to consider.
yes, right. So yes, 0 to unlimited, yeah, 0 to unlimited, that risk score number. But we have to consider greater than 90 score instance only, we have to do the analysis. And remaining all other vendors, example, take McAfee, Logarithm, and also Splunk, HP ArcSight, all other vendors, risk score is 0 to 100. 0 to 100. But IBM QRadar risk score is, or magnitude is, they will not call it a risk score, but they will call magnitude. So this is indirectly risk score. It is from 0 to 10 scale range. For every offense, whatever we received in IBM QRadar, okay, so that is, so 0 to 10 scale range only. So then what is this magnitude, how it will generate? You know already how risk score will be generated based on the anomaly factor into, and also based on the which type of incident we received. But in this IBM QRadar, it is a completely different approach they are following. What is that approach they are following? It depends on 3 parameters. Magnitude is depending on 3 parameters. Those 3 parameters are credibility, next one is, oops, magnitude is depending on three parameters. What are this is also entire question, guys. One is credibility. So second one is relevance. Third one is severity. So these are 3 parameters. So these 3 parameters range of the scale or number, once again 0 to 10. 0 to 10. So where we have to define these 0 to 10 and how it is generating. So based on the business impact analysis and risk assessment for every logic, whatever we are creating, every logic, whatever creating, I'm not sure how many people gone through this particular material. So here I provided logic use case creation as well. 1 second. Yeah. So did you go through this one? No. Am I right? So here you can see in the rule action, this correlation rule, logic only, it's very, very important. In the 8th point, in the role action tab, I will define relevance, severity, and credibility. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, in the 15th batch Google Drive, so one of the document is related to use case or correlation rule creation. It's a compulsory inter-equation, even you are a part of L1 role. Okay, so I created approximate 5. So this logic only they will ask, but I want to show how that magnitude can be calculated. In the rule itself, normally we can define so severity, credibility, as well as okay relevance as well. Okay, severity, okay, 0 to 10 scale range, relevance 0 to 10 scale range, credibility 0 to 10. Okay, if you are taking on an average of these three, credibility, relevance, and also severity, then overall some magnitude will come. According to that magnitude, either it is a critical incident or offense, or whether the high incident or offense, or whether the medium severity incident, or whether the low or informational severity. Okay, so how magnitude can be defined on an average of all these three. So that definitions also I can provide. So where we can configure that particular severity, credibility, and relevance in the logic. When you say logic, correlation rule creation, at the time of each and every attack, whatever logic we are configuring. Okay, so in that logic itself, we have to define this range also based on the whatever attack we are configuring, whether it's a brute force attack, what is the severity, whether it is ransomware attack, what is the severity. So if it is a DOS and DDoS attack, for every attack, we have to define this range. By default, okay, vendor will give some range. If you want, you can modify that one also based on your own business impact analysis and risk assessment. So here we can define as magnitude is an average score of severity, credibility, and also relevance. Okay, now example take brute force attack. So credibility score is showing as maybe 8, relevance score is 9, and severity is 10. Example only. Now altogether how much?
27.
Average of this one how much?
27/3.
Yeah, how much?
9.
How much?
9.
Yeah, what is the magnitude now?
9.
High,
Yes,
very
9.
high.
Yeah, it's a very high critical. So 9 to 10 we can call it critical, right? So this is the way how the backend automatically offense will be generated, risk score. This is the overall logic basically. So this is the way how the backend IBM QRadar is doing functionality. In such a way, okay, they will, okay, so operating backend hardware device or software device as well. So magnitude is nothing but average of credibility score, relevance score, and severity score. Then what is credibility? Now brute force attack, what is the severity? So a magnitude of brute force attack eight plus 9 plus 10 divided by 3. So 9. So magnitude, overall magnitude is 9. Now according to this one, we can say this is a critical offense. Okay, so that is about how we can calculate the magnitude. Now, how we can provide the definition now? So we are saying credibility, okay, fine. We are saying about, okay, so relevance, okay, fine. What severity is fine. But what is mean by definition of these three now? Okay, definitions now. Credibility. So credibility, how we can define as, so it can define as integrity of an event. Integrity. So something can be modified or deleted or updated. So that is called integrity, right? So in case these type of attack will come from the attacker point of view, is there any change of the credibility or integrity, whether he can take the updating or deleting or modifying or configuring and so on. So that is called credibility. So how we can define this one now? Integrity of an event is called credibility. Then what is relevance? Relevance is nothing but relative impact of an event, both financial point of view as well as so in the attack point of view. Relevance, how we can define? Impact of an event or incident. Impact of an event. So nothing but both the cases. It is instant wise as well financial matters. Okay, so how much financial we can lose in case this type of instant are receiving. So that score we have to define. So this how we can say now financial point of view. So finally severity. So severity is already, it's a measure of the relative threat. Okay, so how much that particular threat can expose weakness, that is called severity. Relative measurement of threat that can expose weakness. So that is called severity. Okay. So according to these three things, magnitude will come now. Okay. So that is the way how we can configure, even when you're configuring custom correlation rule as well. So you have to explain about all these. Custom correlation rule creation. So already, as I said, I provided a couple of logics. Please go whenever you will get a free time. So I provide for the terminated account, disabled account, brute force account, VPN authentication. I think 4 or 5 I provided. One you are remembering, that's more than sufficient. But you have to explain everything. You have to explain everything. You no need to change the sentence also. I provided even like a baby feeding or spoon feeding. I will log into QRadar tool. Okay, what I will do, I will go to offenses tab. Everything I explained. So whenever they will ask, do you know how to create a correlation rule? As I said, 0 to 4+ years of experience people, you can say, no, I don't know how to create correlation rule, but I have an idea how to create correlation rule. Example, you have to give this example, DOS attack. For DOS attack, so I know how to create correlation rule and you can provide this particular logic. So maybe this one is related to disabled account, login failure. So we can discuss this one later. That's okay. So that is about overall these magnitude. Now next one is building blocks. What do you mean building blocks in IBM QRadar? It's a very, very favorite interview question. Building blocks. So building blocks are test cases. It will not generate any alert notification. If you want to test whether logic is working or not, we can enable these building blocks. Okay. So building blocks are, this also called BB. Even when you're writing a logic also, we have to define these building blocks, test cases. You can see here. Where is that? BB category. BB means building blocks category, test cases category. I am testing this condition, whether it's working or not. Okay. So everywhere BB will be there. BB means building block. These are test cases. This is one of the test cases of the logic. And with Boolean algebra function, I'm using another test case. Okay. So in the correlation rule, building blocks is a subset. In the correlation rule, building blocks is a subset, but it will not generate any alert notification. building blocks are test cases in IBM QRadar, and we can define at the time of correlation rule creation, but it will not generate any alert notification. So what is the keyword here? It will not generate any alert notification. We have to remember. And also test cases. So this is the keyword. And also this is the keyword. Test cases, and it will not generate any alert notification. Next one is correlation rules. Already we discussed this one. They will ask what is the difference between building blocks and correlation rule. Okay, correlation rule is nothing but linking one event with another event based on some of the specific logic or condition or algorithm. And also it will generate the alert notification using different types of responses, rule responses or rule actions. Okay, so how we can define linking one event with another event or mapping one event with another event based on specific logic or condition or algorithm for every attack, and also it will generate alert notification. So it will generate alert notification, but building blocks will not generate any alert notification. In the rule action, so rule action, here you can see rule action also will be there. Yeah, in the rule response or rule action. In the rule response, okay, so we have our rule action, otherwise rule action, we have to specify the, okay, so email address. How we can receive the email notification? So you have to specify the SMTP integration or email address. We have to provide even in the, okay, correlation rule also. In the correlation rule, we have to specify the, so example, I provide sock@tcs.com, right? So we have to provide that information also. So what are the different types of correlation rule, or how it will generate the rule action or rule notification? One is SNMP traps. One is email notification. Okay, rule response. Rule response or alerts. Depends on integrating with. This is not only just our SIM tool of IBM QRadar. This is common to every team. So example, Windows team and Linux team, if their performance reaching more than 70% utilization of the bandwidth or CPU or RAM, they will receive the notification stating that so and so server is reached utilization of 70%. How they are getting that particular notification as alert notification? Because that server they are integrating SMTP server. Okay, as I said, so SMTP server, not only security team, they will integrate with each and every tool, but also every team they will integrate to get the notification what's going on. So integrating with SMTP server. So that is one of the option as an email notification. SMTP server is another email notification. Second one is SNMP traps. So SNMP traps we have to configure on the simple network management protocol. Whenever any incident will come, if you are enabling the SNMP, either version 1, version 2, or version 3. So which version we are using? Version 3. So version 3, it's a completely encrypted username and encrypted password. Version 1 and version 2 plain text. We discussed very first beginning class ports and protocols. Okay, so SNMP traps is one of the option how to receive the alert notification. Third one is reference set. Reference set. Fourth one is syslog. Not only these one, even mobile notification also. Nowadays, what we are getting, because every time we can't check our emails, right? They are integrated with the MDM devices also. When you say MDM devices, mobile device management, mobile device management. So they will integrate with our mobile number. Whenever any incident is coming, it will receive to our alert notification as a mobile number also. So these are the couple of rule responses. But building blocks, we don't define all those, just a test cases, that's it. So that is the main difference between building blocks and correlation rule. Correlation rule would provide the alert notification using these are the different types of integration. I mean, these are the different types of mechanisms, and the building blocks will not generate anything. So that is about so difference between building blocks and also correlation rule. Next one is common event format. What is CEF? What is CEF? What is common event format?
Convert unknown format of logs into understanding of SIM tool.
Could you please repeat?
Convert
Converting.
raw log formats into understanding SIM tool format.
Perfect. That's right. So in the IBM QRadar, what is the event format or common event format name? Common event format name in IBM QRadar. Cyber security first class. Cyber security first class.
I think BSD or
No, that is log types. I'm not asking logs types. Where we discussed about log, event, instant, alert, and also we discussed about, I think not first class, we discussed it's a part of parsing. I said leaf. Only IBM QRadar terminology common event format name is a leaf. Light extended event format. Light extended event format. Remaining all other vendors, they'll call it common event format. Okay, so you know already what is meant by light extended event format. It will convert different types of raw logs to IBM QRadar understandable format. It is called leaf. So next one is a DSM. This is also one of the favorite interview question, guys. DSM. What is DSM in IBM QRadar? What is DSM in IBM QRadar? So device support module or data support module. So mainly it can be used for the third-party log integrations. DSM module or licensing can be used to integrate the third-party log sources. It can be used to integrate third-party log sources. Example, Palo Alto firewall. CrowdStrike antivirus tool or EDR tool. So Cisco SourceFire. What is SourceFire tool? Cisco SourceFire. SourceFire. What is SourceFire? IDS IPS. Akamai. What is Akamai? Akamai tool. Which one it is belongs to? Web application firewall. Okay. Next one. FI. Load balancer. All these are third party, not from IBM. How we can say third party? If IBM related servers are there, that is called as a default related servers. All these are different vendors. When you say different vendors, that one we can call it as a third party. It is not from the same vendor. So if same vendor, example, IBM server, if are using, if integrating with the IBM QRadar tool, so that time, okay, directly we can generate and we can download event collector or event collector agent. And from there, we can integrate the logs. These are all not third party. In that scenario, DSM module is not required. If you want to integrate third party or other vendors, we have to use, okay, so DSM module. So DSM module can be used to integrate with the new onboarding log sources or data sources or third-party logs integration. So that is our DSM. It's important indirect question. And also, this is also important indirect question. Building blocks. Next one, magnitude also. Next one, coalescing. So one more interview, not interview, couple of other definitions. Next one second. It is reference set. Reference it in IBM QRadar. This is also one of the favorite interview question. So reference set meaning here, based on one of the reference, we can provide the logic. A list of single elements, a list of single elements that are derived from events or flows. Okay, so a list of, how we can define this one? A list of single elements that are derived from events or flows is called as reference set. Example, most of the case by default, this entire question, they will ask example, can you provide one of the example of the reference set? Most of the case we can use IP address. So always we can use reference set as a IP address. Why? Because whenever any attack is coming, first we have to classify that reference belongs to our internal or insider threat or external attack or hacker is doing. If we're providing the IP address as a reference to us, then we can classify easily whether that attack belongs to internal attack or insider threat or external attacker is trying to do the hacking. So that is called, so reference set. If we're providing IP address, we can classify easily. 10 series, 172.16 series, or 192.168 series. All these are belongs to private IP address range. If any attack belongs to these three reference set as IP address, then we can classify that is the insider threat or internal attack. Other than these, range of the IP address, obviously it is the external attack. So we can define IP address is one of the reference set. If you want, we can use as a host name also. Host name or system name, domain name, computer name, and so on. Okay, so even we can use domain name also. For our internal devices or computers or laptop or MacBook or workstation and so on. So we can, what we can do, so we can assign one of the host name to identify easily whether it is the end user system or server, right? So for that one also we can reference it, we can provide a host name also. External attacker, whenever he is trying to do hacking part, whether will we receive the whatever computer name that system he is using? No, we will not receive. Only IP address we can receive from the hacker point of view. According to this one also, we can put as a reference set. So source port we can put as a reference set. Destination port we can put as a reference set. So next one we can put MAC address. Next one we can put time frame. So in such a way we can define so many reference sets. But what is very, very popular reference set or default one? So obviously IP address. Most of the organizations, they can use reference set as a, which one? IP address. Okay, so that is about reference set part. A reference set mapping meaning here, whatever raw log is there, that raw log can be converted into mapping with IP address, mapping with host name, mapping with source port, mapping with the destination port. We have seen raw logs. All those raw logs we have to map with references of IBM QRadar. So example, what is my reference mapping? Reference set mapping. Meaning here, so example, event viewer. If you are going event viewer under Windows logs and security related example or anything you can take. So this is raw log. So this can be converted or mapped to reference of the IBM QRadar, whatever they defined. Okay. So take any one of the example. So whatever computer name is there. So we have to map this reference with our IBM QRadar reference set. That is called reference mapping. Mapping of the raw logs or parsed logs to IBM QRadar. Okay, so references defaultly whatever it is provided. If you're mapping those things, we can call it as reference mapping. Mapping just to raw log or parse log, we have to map it to IBM QRadar mapping part, references mapping. Okay, so that is one thing. Next one is IBM Pulse. IBM Pulse, it is one of the additional licensing. IBM Pulse, it can provide the dashboard. It can provide the overall summary of the how many incidents. It can provide the security posture of the organizations, top incidents based on the severity, top applications wherever it is going to impact, top firewall denied activity, top IDS IPS denied activity, and so on. Pulse. Pulse can be represented as a security posture of the organization, dashboard of the organizations. Even it can provide the graphical representation related to pie chart, bar chart, and so on. How many are critical instance? How many are low instance? How many are high instance? Everything. We can represent one of the dashboard. That dashboard we can call it as IBM Pulse. IBM Pulse can be used to provide the information of security posture of the organization, threat summary, incidents information, nothing but offenses information, alerts information in the form of visualizations and the graphical representations. What are the graphical representations we have in the form of visualizations? Example of visualizations, bar chart, pie chart, and everything. It's like a summary. I can show practically this one. Even we have seen this one in the Fortinet firewall. Fortinet firewall. FortiView is one of the option is there, right? We can see what are the summary of the overall incidents. That is about IBM Pulse, but they will not ask in the interview. Just for information, I'm saying all these. Next one is IBM App Host or IBM App. So what is this IBM App Host or IBM App? It will represent. It will manage all the apps whatever we are using in the IBM QRadar tool. It manage and maintain the whatever apps we are using in the IBM QRadar. It will provide the software updates, and also it can provide the CPU utilization, memory utilization, RAM utilization, everything. So IBM App Host. This also additional cost can be provided information like CPU utilization of the IBM QRadar, RAM utilization, bandwidth utilization. All these are called performances. Okay. Along with this one, it can provide the even apps information of IBM QRadar. So example, OBA is one of the app we can use. Next one, we can use node information. Also, it can provide how many nodes we purchased. Okay. It can provide the threat hunting app. So it can manage even IBM exports, SOAR capability of instant IBM resilient, all these. All these are different types of apps. All those apps are maybe overall tabs. It can be managed by IBM App Host. Okay. So along with this one, as I said, IBM QRadar, what is the utilization, RAM utilization, and bandwidth utilization, and so on. Okay, that is about so IBM App Host. Next one is IBM Exports. It is a centralized threat intelligence information database. So IBM Exports can be provided. Okay, so threat intelligence database. Whenever any attack is happening from malicious IP address, we can copy that malicious IP address. We can come back to IBM Exports tool, and we can identify whether that one is belongs to malicious one or legitimate or illegitimate. In the similar malicious URL link, malicious domain names, malicious hash values, all those we can go and we can check the reputation. So that is about IBM Exports. It can provide the malicious IPs, URLs, hash values, domains, and websites information. So that is about IBM Exports. So next one we have leaf is over. Next, so node is the storage purpose, you know already. IBM Pulse is over, offenses is over, building blocks is over, coalescing, correlation rule, CRE. CRE is correlation rule engine, already you know that one. I'm not explaining once again. Magnitude is over, severity is over. Next, what else? Yeah, couple of versions of the IBM QRadar. IBM QRadar versions 7.3.3, 7.3.4. You can say what is the latest IBM QRadar version? 7.3.4. And next one is model numbers of IBM QRadar. IBM QRadar model numbers 3125, 3128, 4125, 4128. So these are the couple of model numbers. What is XRB model numbers? What is XRB model numbers?
4000, 2000.
Yes, that's correct. So don't tell everything. In your organization, what is the model number you are using? You can say 3125. That's all. That's fine. Don't say 4 we are using. You will get doubt. Whoever is asking the interview guy. In the similar way, IBM QRadar version 7.3 and 7.3.4, any one of the version you can say, but don't say 2. In my organization, a latest stable version of the firmware of IBM QRadar we are using is 7.3.3. That's fine. Okay. So these are the model numbers. Event collector and flow collector model numbers. One 1800, 1900, 2100, 2000. So these are all the event collector and flow collector, event processor and flow processor. So these are all the couple of model numbers related to event collector and flow collector and event processor and flow processor also. All these are hardware devices. So example I have shown right here. So whatever this, 1 second. Yeah. So these model numbers, these are hardware model numbers. Yeah. So that is about the model numbers. That's all for total IBM QRadar. Okay. A regular expression also one of the favorite interview topic, but that is implementation team they will do. A regular expression meaning here, whatever raw log is there, that raw log can be converted into pseudocode. That pseudocode can be converted into a regular expression. And that regular expression is depending on 3 parameters. One is aerial query database, second flow-based mechanism. Third one, mathematical operations. Okay. So regular expressions. So when we have to use these regular expressions, for the parsers development side, we have to use the regular expressions. So these regular expressions, it can be converted raw log into pseudocode, P silent, pseudocode. From pseudocode, it can be converted into a regular expression. So these regular expressions, how normally development team of IBM QRadar, they can do it. There are three ways it is depending on regular expressions, depending on aerial query database calculations. Second one, mathematical calculations. Flow-based calculations. You know, aerial query database meaning here backend tool is a query languages. Okay. So next one, mathematical calculations. What are the mathematical calculations we have? How many symbols we have? Operators, mathematical calculation operators.
So plus, minus, and
Yes, that's right. Yeah, plus, minus, okay, into and divided by. Those are mathematical operators. So they can compare raw log with the pseudocode with regular expression using mathematical operators also. So example, plus, minus, so into and divided by. So divided by, okay. So these are the operators, and here queries. It is divided by given, it is asking query. Okay, I will remove. So I am putting here mathematical operations. Give me 1 second. Oops. It will take this one there. Okay, leave it. Mathematical operators, you know already. I'm not writing here because TEL is taking that one. Okay, and aerial queries here. Aerial query database and a flow-based calculation is net flow data. Net flow or JFlow or SFlow. Okay, so these are all the three different types of ways we can create the regular expressions for parsing purpose. And also backend databases in IBM QRadar. Backend databases in IBM QRadar. What are the databases, guys?
PGSQL.
PGSQL. Second one?
AQL.
Yes, aerial query database. So inter question, capture your mind to inter question this one. Happiest minds also. Okay, so anyway, I'm preparing separate interview questions to you. Okay, I will upload in the Google Drive as well, that one also. So whatever so far students is attended the interviews along with answers also there, I think so. Okay, so I can go and I can check already. I think prepared document is there. I can upload maybe within less than a week. Okay. That's all about total overall IBM QRadar. In the tomorrow morning class, I can complete the theoretical part except cloud basics. So 3 topics are pending. One is Azure Sentinel architecture diagram. Second one is HTTP authentication codes. Third one is Windows logon types. Yeah. So these 3 topics are pending. So once that one is completed, tomorrow evening onwards, we can start the practical tools. Tomorrow evening onwards, I can start the practical sessions. So first I will start with maybe ServiceNow or Sophos, from their Fortinet firewall, vulnerability assessment. Okay. Then finally SIM tools. Okay. And keep on regularly, you can touch with these material also. Material also you can, okay, regularly you can verify this one also. I'm uploading simultaneously or parallelly. Okay, so today I uploaded more than 5 documents. Okay, you can go through these documents as well. Okay. So that's all for today evening. Do you have any queries?
Sir, I have a small doubt.
Yes, please.
Sir, you're writing BB building blocks before the correlation, right?
BB is subset of correlation rule.
Yes.
At the time of correlation rule creation, we have to define the test cases as well. Why? Because whether logic is generating after meeting the condition or not. Yeah.
Means if BB logic is verified only, then we'll go with correlation.
Yeah, if BB logic is successfully completed, example, maybe take you are creating one of the correlation rule using building blocks related to ransomware attack or malware category of the attack. I'm sharing 1 second. So you created one of the correlation related to malware category of the attack. For malware category of the attack also, building blocks or test cases we can create. And after that, we have to define the logic. And from there, we have to define the rule response. And also we have to define the magnitude, nothing but severity, relevance, credibility, and finally how the rule action. So how the notifications will be generated. So that is overall you can define, and this rule is applicable to both events and flows are already existing or modifying the respective incident. So that is about overall. If you want to verify whether building blocks are successfully working or not, so wantedly you have to test that rule as well, right? Whether rule response is coming back as an alert or not. Example, ICAR. ICAR is an website. It's a European institution, computer antivirus something is there. I forgot. ICAR. So in this ICAR website, give me 1 second. So ICAR. Yeah, it is a European Institute for Computer Antivirus Research. So after creating these building blocks and correlation rule completion, you should test whether that case is working or not and alert notification is receiving or not. In that scenario, what I will do, I will go to the ICAR website. Okay, example. One of the test machine will be there to see whether the test case is working or not. These are all malware related files. Don't download in your personal laptop or personal mobiles. Otherwise, your systems will get compromised in case you are not using any antivirus or EDR tool. You are trying to download icar.com. It's one of the malware file, and icar.com.txt, icar_com, zip. All these are malware files. Once you are downloaded from the testing machine, those logs, it will go to the event collector. Event collector will go to event processor. Event processor backend correlation rule engine is there. That correlation rule engine already malware logic as a test cases you have defined. Okay, those test cases it will hit, and finally, so alert will be generated as a rule response. Without testing, okay, we cannot go and we cannot, okay, create a rule, right? So that is about what is BB and also correlation rule. Even you have to explain all these things. So I will raise a test case and change request and implement. Whenever any customized rule you are creating, directly we can go and we cannot create in the production environment. We have to create in the testing environment or development environment by speaking with the vendors. Once the testing is completed successfully, then only we have to implement the prod environment. This is the process. I think I defined already those things. Yeah, so I provided 10th and 11th step. Please go through this one also, then you'll come to know. 10th and 11th. Any other?
Sir, do we need to create regular expressions?
No, it's not a mandatory. Forget about regular. In case if they'll ask, do you know how to create regular expressions? I'm not doing that one. That one is taking care of the implementation team. Otherwise, you're a part of L3 or implementation guy.
Okay.
Any other? Mitri attack. Already we discussed long back.
Oh, yes.
It's a part of network and cyber attacks we discussed. I think 11th or 12th video you can go and you can see. 11th or 12th. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Tomorrow morning. So why I'm not taking, okay, give me 1 second.